The last page I'd like to just go through is the care minutes calculator, which is perhaps a very important component of this tool. It is a scenario testing model to see what kind of impact your proposed submissions might have on your rostering and care minutes. It's a 3-step process. The first step is just to select your facility out of the facilities that you have access to. It will automatically calculate some fields that are in gray. So things like the AN-ACC average subsidy for that day, for today. There will be some fields that you may need to manually enter. So things like your worked care minutes or your target care minutes, your average hourly rates for your registered nurses and enrolled nurses, personal carers. We may have the ability to connect to your roster system to generate some of that information, but for now, they are manually entered information. Step 2 is just to define a time period. So by default, it's just set up as this quarter. You can apply a different quarter if you like, and it will just automatically calculate a future care minutes target with or without those proposed submissions, so those completed full review activities. So it does give you an idea of, if we did make those submissions, what would happen? If we didn't make those submissions, what would that look like? So step 2 is just picking a time period. And step 3 is there's really nothing involved. You just look at your results. So it's a fairly simple process. We give you some basic results. So things like your compliance outcome based on your target and matching that where you sit in that staffing star rating matrix. So we've got what you're at now, which is this yellow one, what you're at now versus something that is likely to happen in future without your submissions, which is this brown one. And finally, a future target with those submissions included. So you've got 3 different scenarios that you can choose from or have a look at. Right down the bottom, we've got some advanced results. If you are interested, you can expand that to get some more sort of analytics or analytical information about the difference to your care minutes target in terms of nursing hours per day, what that might mean in terms of 8-hour shifts per day, additional staffing costs per day, and the summary at the end, annualized, where we can look at what your RN cost, your personal carer costs may be compared to the expected revenue that you may receive from the funding subsidies, including the submissions or excluding those submissions. So we've got some financial information that may help make your decision about whether you'd like to make those submissions now or whether it's better to hold off until a little bit later. So there are some ways that you can help make those kind of important operational decisions. Just to the last thing I'd probably like to mention is that we do have a quick screen button up here. This will be the final thing that I'll talk through. This is an instant quick screen if you ever need to do one. It may be helpful in cases where you've got some prospective residents who are coming in to have a look. They may be future residents, and because you won't have any Medicare information about that new or prospective resident, you can still do a pre-entry resident screening for the purpose of seeing where that prospective resident may sit in terms of an AN-ACC classification. You can choose whether they're here for respite or permanent. You can pre-fill some of their details if you prefer. Select the facilities. And again, you just go through that quick screen again.
And we can make this interface actually just auto update and populate that. That's the most common interface feature we have.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose you can do this just verbally with their carer as well. You may not, it's not necessarily have to have that resident in front of you to do this. So it can help with some pre-entry screening purposes. So that's probably just the last thing I wanted to mention, that there is the ability to do this for a resident that doesn't exist in your facility yet, but it can help with some prospective residents. Thank you all for your attention. I think that's all I'd like to talk through and demo in the site. I might just hand back to Richard or ask for any comments, suggestions, any feedback. We're very welcome.
Thanks, Akira. Fantastic to do that. That was good. I would like to say that with the work care minutes, we currently interface with Human Force, many of you may use. But if there are other systems that you use, then that would be something that also could be done, so that you're going to have a daily indication of worked minutes, so you've got something up to date. We also have a number of additional charts to provide for people. We have actually reviewed some of the other systems, and there can be a lot of information in them, but we've tried to focus on the core things that you're going to need, that you'd use most regularly. There's something here you can't see at the moment, but it's actually in our finance system, which is a detailed breakdown of all of the AN-ACC categories. It's a detailed piece of equipment, so that will be available in here as well. We'll transfer it across, so you can do that as well. I suppose maybe it's getting late. I mean, the things that we're quite interested in is anyone would like to talk about the sort of drop dead functionality that they would want, that they'd want to mention, and what they would do on a day-to-day basis. Is there something you'd say, we have to have this, and this will make it easy for us? Is there anyone that would like to put something in the comments or to speak to that? That would be great.
I've just got Amanda asked her to just join. She's just I think she's answering about 100 other text messages I can see popping through. Here she is.
I'm here. I've been here, but yes.
I know.
You know
is there anything that you can think? And Bill Hodge, who's here online with us today, he actually used to be an ACV expert. Bill, you now have seen all of this as well, and he's in our team. So is there anything, I mean, this looks amazing to me. I don't know what you were thinking as you were watching it, but